Level 1. The Halcon, the Falcon. You're 16 years old. You should be in school, but instead, you're sitting on a rusted, beat-up motorbike at the dusty entrance of your village. You don't carry a gun. They don't trust you with one yet. Instead, you carry a cheap, cracked two-way radio and a warm bottle of soda. You are the Falcon. Your only job is to be the invisible eyes of the plaza. You sit there for 12 hours a day, watching the highway. When the dark green military trucks or the federal police roll in, you don't panic. You don't run. You simply pick up the radio, press the button, and whisper a single, predetermined code word. Maybe it's "the birds are flying," or maybe it's just a sequence of numbers. For this, you get paid $100 a week in crumpled cash. It's more money in a day than your father makes in a week, breaking his back at the avocado farm. You buy a fake designer watch. You think you're a spy, a vital part of a massive empire. You feel respected, but you don't realize the brutal truth. You are just a disposable censor. If a rival cartel decides to make a move on this town, you are the first one they will shoot just to send a message. But for now, you just sip your warm soda and watch the road. Level 2. The Estafeta, the Runner. A year passes. You've proven you can keep your mouth shut and stay awake on the radio. Now, they upgrade you. They hand you the keys to a beat-up, unremarkable four-door sedan. You aren't moving the heavy product yet. That's too risky for a rookie. You're moving something far more dangerous. Messages. These messages are thick, manila envelopes stuffed with thousands of dollars in cash meant to pay off the local police chief, or a tiny encrypted USB drive meant for a corrupt local politician. You learn what they call the route of silence, the back roads where there are no cameras and no checkpoints. Driving becomes a psychological torture. Every time headlights appear in your rearview mirror, your heart pounds against your ribs. Your palms sweat on the steering wheel. You have been given strict instructions. If you get pulled over by the Marines, you have exactly 3 seconds to swallow the SIM card in your burner phone before they smash your window. You start wearing real gold chains now. Girls in the village start looking at you differently. You feel like a ghost that the law can't touch, but your stomach is in a constant state of knots. Level 3. The Sicario Novato, the rookie hitman. The envelopes stop. The messages get darker. One night, a black SUV pulls up and they hand you an AR-15. They drive you to a secluded, concrete ranch deep in the mountains. You aren't a driver anymore. You are the muscle. Forget the movies. Your first job isn't a highly choreographed shootout in a luxury club. It's a messy, terrifying, and chaotic night in a dark alleyway behind a mechanic's shop. The noise of the gunfire is deafening, leaving your ears ringing for days. The smell of copper and burnt gunpowder sticks to your clothes. You go back to your room and you don't sleep for a week. Every time you close your eyes, you see the faces. But you don't quit, because quitting means death. Instead, something inside you snaps. You compartmentalize the horror. The cartel bosses notice your steady hand and your blank stare. They officially give you a nickname, something intimidating like El Lobo or the Shadow. You stop using your real name. You stop being a person, and you start becoming a brand of violence. Level 4. The Cobrador, the Taxman. You've survived the brutal street wars that claim 90% of the sicarios. You are older now, colder, and you've earned the right to step back from the front lines. You are now an executive of fear. You manage a plaza, a specific territory or neighborhood. Your daily routine looks surprisingly like a normal businessman's, just twisted. You walk into local businesses, taco stands, logging companies, high-end restaurants and avocado farms, and you collect the quota, the cartel tax. You don't need to pull out a gun anymore. You don't need to yell. You just walk in, wearing a clean polo shirt, and your reputation does the talking for you. The business owners hand over the envelopes with shaking hands. You now have a crew of 6 Falcons and a dozen runners reporting directly to you. You are making $10,000 a week. You buy your mother a massive, gated mansion on the edge of the city. She cries and thanks God for your success in real estate, but you know she knows. You can never tell her what you actually do, and the silence between you grows heavy. Level 5. The Logistico, the architect. You've proven you are smart, not just ruthless. You are officially too valuable to lose in a random street shootout. You are pulled out of the city and put in charge of the empire's lifeblood, logistics. You aren't dealing with street corners anymore. You are dealing with global infrastructure. You coordinate the digging of mile-long air-conditioned tunnels under the US border. You arrange the purchase of custom-built fiberglass submarines from the jungles of Colombia. You are on encrypted video calls with chemical suppliers in China and corrupt customs agents in Europe. You live in a luxury penthouse in Mexico City, drinking imported whiskey and pretending to be a wealthy import-export CEO. You have 3 different passports in your safe and 5 different identities. Looking out over the city skyline, the reality hits you. The cartel isn't a street gang. It's a multi-billion-dollar multinational shipping corporation that just happens to have its own private, heavily armed military. Level 6. The Jefe de Plaza, the warlord. You don't just work in the city anymore, you own it. Every local cop, every city judge, and the mayor himself are on your direct payroll. You don't walk the streets like a normal human being. When you move, it is inside an armored convoy of 6 identical black SUVs, flanked by ex-military mercenaries carrying military-grade weaponry. You hold the power of a god. With a single phone call, you decide who lives, who thrives, and who disappears into the desert forever. But the golden cage is closing around you. You have infinite money, but you can't go to a movie theater or a restaurant without 20 armed guards scanning the perimeter. The paranoia begins to rot your brain. You start seeing traitors in every shadow. You wonder if your driver is talking to the DEA. You trust your guard dogs more than you trust your own lieutenants. Level 7. The Capo, the legend. You have made it to the absolute top of the pyramid. Your name is whispered in fear. You are a billionaire on paper. Your organization moves hundreds of tons of product a year. But look at your reality. You live in a damp, hidden cave system or a concrete bunker deep in the Sierra Madre Mountains. You can't use a cell phone. You can't use the internet. You communicate exclusively through handwritten notes carried by trusted messengers because you know the DEA and the CIA have the sky covered in surveillance satellites listening for your voice. You've had 3 minor heart attacks from the stress, but you can't go to a modern hospital. You have to fly a kidnapped doctor up to your mountain hideout. You've won the ultimate war, but you've lost the entire world. You sit in the dark, waiting for the one thing you cannot shoot and cannot bribe, the inevitable betrayal from someone in your inner circle. Level 8. The Ghost. The machine demands a sacrifice, and the end always comes. It happens in one of 2 ways. Either it's a 3 a.m. raid by elite, night vision-equipped special forces dropping from Black Hawk helicopters, or it's a quiet, sudden bullet to the back of the head from your own ambitious nephew. You are gone, but your name becomes a ghost. They write corridos, folk songs, about your life. Netflix makes a dramatic series about your rise and fall. And the most tragic part, the very next morning, back in your old village, another hungry 16-year-old boy picks up a cracked radio, sits on a rusted motorbike, and watches the road. The machine never stops.